in this, I might as well institute one of the two things that I know about acid. And these are two things that I only know from conversations with stoners in college at UC Santa Cruz, because, like I said, this is the first time I've done it. And the two things I know about acid are A, this is totally from hearsay, A, orange juice is supposed to exacerbate it, and B, booze is supposed to retard the effect. It's supposed to deaden them. So I'm gonna go with option B, because hopefully I don't end up pissing my pants this time. So we run to the liquor store right before it closes, pick up a bottle of wine, I start chugging it. We're walking around the Mission and things are going pretty well so far. I'm tripping a little bit, but it's not too heavy. The next thing I know, actually, the reason I know it's working, my brilliant plan to drink myself out of this trip is working, is that the next thing I know, we're at home. And I don't remember much of the rest of the evening. There's only a couple little flashes I get. One of them is that I wake up alone, naked in bed, and I smell this delicious smell, and I notice that the girl is gone. And also, all of her clothes are on the floor, so I'm a little worried as to where she is. I walk out into the living room, she's in the kitchen, buck naked, cooking a 3-course meal out of my roommate's groceries. Whatever, any other time it might have been a problem, I'm like, I can make up for this. This is supposed to be some sort of epic experience. So once again, I black out, not a lot of memories about what happened. I wake up, she goes home. I spend the next few hours trying to reconstruct exactly what went down over the night. And I realize that there's one memory that I can't get out of my head, which is sort of problematic, which is that I know for a fact that I, at some point during the night, had an orgasm. And the reason I know this, I don't know if any of you guys have ever had sex on acid, but it's, well, first of all, it's no mean feat. And to have an orgasm on acid takes a lot of concentration and a lot of work. And also, it's like, I have this one memory of my head exploding at some point during the evening, and I assume that that's that. So, being a responsible young adult, I call her the next day, we talk about it. I've ransacked my apartment, can find no evidence of condom usage. And so, as I said, attempting to do the right thing, I get her a morning after pill. She takes it. I nurse her through 3 days of mild unpleasantness in which I feel extremely guilty. But things return to their normal, business as usual. The girl from the open relationship girlfriend comes back into town. She asked me to dog sit her dog for a little while. And I'm like, of course, no problem. She drops the dog off. I take care of her for an afternoon. Somewhere in the middle of it, about a couple hours in, I leave to go to the grocery store and pick up some groceries. I'm gone for 10 minutes max. When I come back, my room is a fucking shambles. This dog has ripped it apart. And I'm like, dogs, tend to do that, not a big deal. I scold the dog mildly. A couple hours later, the girl comes to pick up her dog. She takes it, and I say goodbye. 15 minutes later, I get a call on my cell phone, and it's the girl, extremely angry, the dog owner girl. She's extremely angry, and the first thing she says is, "You're officially fired from dog sitting duty." And I'm confused and a little taken aback. I ask why, and she says, "Well, at 16th and Mission, I just had to stand there and watch while at least a dozen bystanders saw my dog poop out a couple condoms onto the sidewalk." And that's how acid got me fired from dog sitting duty.
So I'm Nico Johanna with Sex+Design. I'm a co-founder with Veronica, and my role is the creative director. And tonight we're embracing kind of the drug scene in San Francisco and all of the sophisticated professionals that are super talented and well-educated and interesting, important people in our society that vote and still party, still engage in drug use, and a lot of people in San Francisco are still single and still really participate in the nightlife. So since Sex+Design has started in the city, which was back in May, we've held a couple big events that embrace the kind of the fashion world in the city, and with Death by Bikini, and also bringing Flock to Supper Club. we've also decided to kind of go outside of the fashion realm in regards to events, and also really kind of highlight some of the things in the city that relate to culture and art. And one of the really fun stories that we've had recently that has kind of brought us to the event tonight relates to finding drugs on a floor in a bar or different clubs in the city. And it's from a sophisticated professional that happens to just be single, and all of the different clubs that you perhaps might go to as a single person in the city. And I know there's a lot of people that can relate to this in San Francisco, is being single in your late 20s or early 30s and still kind of being a part of the party culture or the drug culture that is, still kind of, it's something that happens in New York and other cities in the United States and all over the world. But San Francisco seems to have a real unique kind of dropout, kind of tune-in dropout culture, kind of just being liberal and out there and kind of pushing the boundaries of what's acceptable and staying single longer and just kind of being you longer. It's important for me as the creative director to bring some unique ways of presenting our culture to the rest of the world, to the city itself, and to the rest of the world. And I'm working on a project now that is kind of taking the muse of Playboy After Dark, where we're going to stream an online show live monthly that's sort of like Playboy After Dark, that features local musicians and local celebrities and a party setting that is uber sophisticated and uber party-esque, with all kind of beautiful, interesting people in the city, and that's something that everybody should look forward to. It's not something that typical magazines do, but we actually have the ability to do, and we've got some amazing talent coming to the table, and we think it's going to be a really fascinating, exciting, sexy show.
We have some awesome dessert specials, so go outside, get stoned, eat dessert, awesome.